Hello, this is WMTT Radio. I'm your host, Jorge Dixon, here, and I want to talk about the new openings in League 5. It should be very interesting. A lot of teams on the market. League 5 is in a high demand, and it's really hot right now. So, yeah, we usually do this for the NTT tournament for League 5, but I had some time, so, decided to do another podcast here about the up-and-coming teams and these teams that you can pick up right before the recruiting cycle that starts next Friday, I believe it's the 20th. So, great time to pick it up. As good of a time as any. So, yeah, here we go. We will start with a team from Conference 2. In Conference 2, we have Worcester. Right now, they are the Cult, formerly coached by Coach Drencom. Yeah, so this team, it's a pretty easy conference, It's the kind of conference you can step in and take over in a few years. Also, if you are not really a high acclaimed coach or anything, it's a pretty good stepping stool when you want to join a bigger conference. I know I started my career in Conference 2 in Manassas, and about 6 seasons ago, I decided to take my talents to Naples. It's a pretty easy transition. Plus, the team is good. This team's good, This team's got a good freshman class of 120 and 80, ranked by the Hardwood and Sim Hoops, respectively. Plus, they got some good talent on this team. Kirk Stengel is a great player. He can really do it all. And they also have James Worsley. So this team is kind of, that freshman class is obviously its best by far. However, this class is very good just as a whole, So I'm pretty excited about this. Kirk Stengel, I actually like him quite a bit. He was averaging about 17 points a game and 2.3 assists a game in high school. So it should be interesting to see how this all works out. It's a good team overall. It should be a fun team to coach. The next team you have is Wheeling. Wheeling is in Conference 3, and this team might be in the most competitive conference in the game. And I don't just mean like in League 5, but I mean like game-wide. Seriously, like I've never seen, and maybe you guys have, but I've never seen 3 teams from the same conference in the Final Four. I know I haven't, I really haven't. And like this team, it has a solid base. It may not be like the greatest one, but they do have an incoming freshman class of 88-76, led by 6'8" forward Glenn Rice. Now, you might recognize that name from those Fab Five, or he's before the Fab Five, but on that Michigan team that won the championship. But the guy can play. He's a smart boy. Can do it all. He can rebound. He can play really good defense and score a little bit too. Also on this team, you got Ramon Robertson, and Ramon's a great player too as well. He's coming in at probably +3 or 4, probably +4 or 5 maybe. Probably good intelligence, but he's a great point guard that can play defense. He can dribble. He's smart, and he can rebound even a little bit. So it's really exciting to have a player like that on your team. Yeah, we're going to move on to Conference 4. Conference 4 is the likes of a team like Albany, the Widowmakers. Great team. And you know what? This conference um, is a conference that you can rebuild fairly quick in, I think. The team that's open is Cooperstown. If baseball's your thing, like this is the place to be. You can stop by and see the Baseball Hall of Fame, and this, and give the city also a college basketball team to be proud of. It will be a rebuilding project. There's not a lot of talent there, but they do have some useful pieces. Um, they never have any really bad classes like 250s, but they have a lot of mid-tier players that could be role players on any team, and they could make the NTT in maybe 2-3 years. Um, Next team is from Conference 5. It's Virginia Beach. Um, First off, disclaimer: they are an inactive coach, and a simple PM could allow you to take over this team. Depending on how much of a rebuilding project you want, this is really the place for you. It's going to take 2-3 years before you're going to see pretty much any fruit from this team, but it's not necessarily due to this team's lack of talent. It has a 85-65 sophomore class. It is more this, this team that's going to be rebuilding is more due to the competition in the conference. There's 3 perennial NTT contenders in this conference with Dover, Annapolis, and Stanford. Each of them have had Stanford's really up and coming, but Dover and Annapolis have had chances to win the NTT in the past couple years, making it very far. This is about as tough conference as they come. It's an active one. Members like to post on their boards. They have conference players of the year's elections and things like that, which makes it a lot of fun, as well as you get to be part of the famous Conference 5, Conference 11 Challenge, which takes place during Game 12. The 2 conferences duke it out for the bragging rights and a chance to bring home the hardware. It's pretty exciting. I'm excited to see what happens. Also, a little bit moving on to Conference 6. Basically, any team there, I think, if you just PMK money, he'll probably roll it over. It's been a dead conference for a while. So that if you really want a conference that you could basically be easy to turn around quick, and even if you don't have a great team right away, it's easy to improve to have a winning team. Conference 6 is the place for you. Moving on, we have Raleigh. Raleigh has a really good freshman class, 113-64. It's one of the best you'll get when you're looking at computer coach teams, because League 5 is so competitive. It's really hard for computer coach teams to do well. But they have 2 players in Von Price and Christopher Rydell. Now, let me tell you something. Von is a great player. I think he's a +2, probably only shooting, but the guy averaged 25 points a game in high school. Great player, straight out of Memphis. Good player to coach. And Christopher Rydell is also a really good player. Right now he's right now he is slotted to play the point guard position for Raleigh, which is not always an easy place, but the guy can play. The guy can play some basketball. I'll just tell you that much. He knows what he's doing, and yeah, he's excited to take over this team with the help of Von. Christopher came out of Anchorage, and I'm not sure. He could very well be a +4, +5 or 6, probably +5 or +6, playing point guard. He played for Anchorage. He had a really, coming out of high school, he's fair plus scouted, fair, excellent minus, fair plus, with a 3.6 GPA and a 67 on the exam. So that's a really good point guard to build off. Raleigh really got a steal there in Christopher. Moving on to Conference 8, we have Charleston. Charleston has been improving lately quite a bit. They have a really good team. They don't have a lot of bad players, but they don't have a lot of good players either. All their classes have been low to mid 100s, which you know what, when you're playing in a league like League Five, that's a great start to have. So I'm sure a lot of people can um, back me up when I say that. And the team's been improving. Last year they had a 166 power ranking, and yeah, it should be exciting to see um, someone take over Charleston. Now, if you really want Charleston was in League 8. If you really want to bring a friend, take a couple people, something fun, you got to go to Conference 10. I'm telling you what. Conference 10 has two teams in the same division, the North Division. You got the Clearwater Tornado. You got Clearwater and you got Clemson. Um, Clearwater, this would be a great conference to bring a friend because basically you get to one thing you get to experience is you get to experience a rivalry with them, and you get to play them at least twice a year. The teams aren't that great. Clearwater's got a pretty good sophomore class, but that's about it. They also have a pretty good senior class, but they're gonna be gone pretty soon. Not a great senior class, but they have some players there. The real pull to this conference is you get to play with your friend over in it's not the team, it's you get to play with your friend in Clemson. Uh, it's a southern town. Clemson's also not a very good team at all. They do have just not a lot of talent on the board. They do have some height at least, but not that much. So this team's going to be also a rebuilding project. But if you want to get a friend and you want to come together and play in this conference, more power to you. This is a great conference to do it. Two teams playing in the same conference. It's pretty exciting. Moving on, we got Conference 11. The only team that's it's an inactive coach. It's not a coach that is a computer coach yet, but K Money could roll them over. It's Charlotte, I do believe. Charlotte does have some height. They got Spencer Brooks, and they got a great freshman class with Enrique Cox and Todd Green leading the way. The freshman class is ranked 87-81. I'm pretty excited about this team. Also, you get to play in one of the most competitive conferences, Conference 11. I'm in the Conference 11, and I have a blast with these guys. Three very active, very good teams, and the rest of the teams are also very active. So they're working their way up. Enrique Cox is a +2 shooting guard, small forward that can rebound and hit his shots. He's a good player. He averaged 24 points a game in high school, as well as he got a steal a game. So he can play a little defense too, which is really good for a player. Other than that, they do have some more players on their team in Charlotte. Todd Green, for instance, is a big man. He's 6'8", and just a great player. He can play with anyone. He can bang with the bangers. He's straight out of Norfolk. He averaged eight and a half rebounds a game in high school, as well as a block a game, 12.1 points. The guy can play a little bit, so that's exciting to see. Charlotte's a fun, and you can also play in the Conference 11, Conference 5 challenge. It's a fun challenge. Moving on, we have in Conference 15 the Ann Arbor Friars. If you are a Michigan fan, I don't necessarily agree with you. I'm a big Spartan fan, so it's hard for me to like Michigan. But if you are, you have a chance to play in Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor is a team that has a good freshman class. They have a good freshman and a good senior class, and everything in between is kind of Their freshman class is 118-86, led by Jonathan Bowles, who can score the ball quite well. Jonathan Vowles is he's probably a +5 kind of guy, 6'5", averaged over 25 points a game out of high school. Really, really highly recruited, so that was a really good pickup for Ann Arbor. They also have Anthony Walters, and Anthony Walters is he's a good player. He averaged 13 and 6 in high school. He also got over a block a game, holds onto the ball fairly well. So Ann Arbor's a pretty good school down there. I don't really appreciate him. I'd rather him be dug into the ground because I don't like the Wolverines that much. But you know what? To each their own, you know. Yeah. Moving on, we have a team in Conference 20, the Fort Wayne Expendables. You know, this is a good conference to get into, get involved. You got coaches like Shad, you got coaches like K Money, Coach Jay, Sam Lang, just a lot of really good coaches. It's very active. Fort Wayne has a good team that someone can step in. They got a great freshman class, 117, 173. I guess great's an overstatement, but they do have, I mean, that does mean that they have a really good player. I think that player is Antoine Connor. Antoine Connor is a point guard that's just can play. He's right out of Pudica, and he's probably, if I had to guess, a +5 with his hands, with his athleticism, with his intelligence being good. Excellent on the other two. Great player to build around. Yeah, it'd be a fun conference to play in. They also got Daniel O'Connor, so they have Antoine Connor and Damian O'Connor. Damian was a vital role player for their team last year, played some defense, did a little rebounding. He's a good player. This team's good. They play in a tough conference. It's going to be a rebuilding project. A lot of these teams are. You're not going to get many teams that you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to win right away. But you're going to play in a competitive conference. You're going to play great coaches, and you're going to have a lot of fun coaching Fort Wayne. Just a great team in general. I do enjoy that team. And next we have Conference 21. The team available is Aspen. If you are a Dumb and Dumber fan, you better get your butt over to Aspen. It's a great city. You can go relax after your games, go ski in the mountains, you know, things like that. Just a great place to be. People want to be there, and yeah, fun place to be. It's an exciting place, and yeah, let me go on about Aspen. Aspen has a pretty good freshman class, it's rated 184, respectively, 100 then 84, not 184. They don't have much else, but that's a good solid building block. Not an extremely tough conference. You do have a few teams in there, such as Keystone, Aberdeen, Fargo, but not a great conference overall. You do have 3 pretty good players. You got first, you got Michael Barnhill. Michael is probably a 6'5" guy that can just play defense. He can rebound it a little bit too. He's probably a +3, maybe a +4. You also have Isaiah Riley. Isaiah is their point guard. He's a freshman, 6'2", out of Houston. He can handle the ball. He's not as good as one would think, but he can play some defense. You know, he averaged 1.3 steals a game in high school. He's going to bring something to their team. And their last freshman is Raymond Garber. Raymond is a 6'8" guy who can shoot, who can hand onto the ball, and he can rebound. I don't know what else you want. He's probably a +5, maybe a +6 if you add in intelligence. Sure, some of those could have dropped, but he was a 17 point a game, 7 rebounds kind of guy who didn't turn it over in high school. Great player to play around. I didn't want to leave him out. Just a great player. That's why you go to Aspen if you want to coach Raymond Garber. Moving on, this is the conference. You bring all your friends. We have everything in Conference 22. We have Pierre. Pierre is a team that has a really good freshman class. Probably the best of all the computer coach freshman classes. They have Daniel Chavez, Adam Wink. Daniel Chavez is a 6'3" guard who's probably a +2 maybe. Adam Wink is a 6'5" guard that's probably also a +2, and the last one, once again, the last one is the best one, which is Son Campuzano. I mean, why wouldn't you want a guy with that name, you know? Son Campuzano. Just great player. He's a smart player. He can score. He can play defense. He can play point guard. Just a great player. Plus, great name overall. So yeah, that's Pierre. But that's not it. There's 2 other teams, and I'll save the best for last. Next is Helena. Helena. I don't know how you pronounce it, but Helena has some very good building blocks, but nothing great, I guess you would say. This is a conference you want to bring your friends to, you know. If you want to play with a bunch of people, if you want to play with 3 guys that you know, like this is where you go, you know. Helena's a good place to take over. And the best one out of these teams is a team that just left. Their coach just left for Kalamazoo, I believe. Rated 48 last year. They have their freshman class is 82-63. Their sophomore class is 9-4. If you don't want a rebuilding project, here's the place for you. They got Evan Myers, who's probably a +4, I think. Athleticism, 2 on excellent rebounder, I think, probably, and good athleticism. Perry Alonzo is one of the most underrated point guards in the game. And Glenn Null at 6'9" could also be a very valuable asset. Not to mention, they have an amazing sophomore class led by Clifford Porath and Mo Gregory. Mo Gregory is a senior, but Clifford Porath is a great player. John Burns and Michael Bayer, each of these guys is probably +5, +6 kind of player. Mo Gregory is also a great player that can shoot the ball. This team was fun to watch. They put up a lot of points. You know, they don't necessarily play a lot of defense, but they do pretty good on their own. You know, they made it to the NTT last year and they had a really good time. So they were really happy. Coach Insanity took this community college. Their nickname is the community college, to the NTT. So, you know, if you want to get your friends together and pick a conference, Conference 22 is the place for you, you know? So, yeah, moving on, we're going to get to Conference 24. There's the Corpus Christi Redbirds, and seriously, who wouldn't want to play in Corpus Christi, you know? Like, it's just a great place to play. You got players in that conference that are pretty... I mean, Coach Loudon, like, he's pretty active. Coach Amarillo, Scorpions is Mustang. He's a legend there. Omaha has won a NTT a few years back. So this is a good conference. Corpus Christi has a 139.96 freshman class, a 174.30 sophomore class, and a 174, 157 junior class. So they have players that can play. Their freshman class has one really good player in Nathan Sawyers. Nathan is a freshman out of Macon. Um, you know, I think I'm not, right now it's showing he's a +0, but it was a fair minor scout. He's got good intelligence, I'm sure. He got a couple bumps. I'm sure he can play pretty well, I think. Other than that, they have Glenn White, not spelled like you would think, but good player nonetheless. Um, yeah, and he's probably a +2 in the spots you want him. Good, a +3 if you include intelligence. Good plus rebounding, good defense. So you can build definitely off of that in Conference 20. Moving on, in Conference 26, that was Conference 24 before, sorry about that. You have Lincoln. Their nickname is pretty funny, the Pimpzillas. At least I find a little bit of humor out of that. They have a great freshman class, 64-71. So you're going to get some stuff. You got Willie Ferguson playing point guard. The guy is probably a +3, +4 maybe. He can play some. He got 1.7 steals, 3.8 assists, and only 1.2 turnovers. Can't shoot that well, but that's okay. You can make up for that with his other skills. You also got Raphael Myers. Raphael is also from Macon. This team just decided to get all their players from Macon for some reason, and he's probably a +2, 3, 4 maybe player. Good shot, good hands, good or excellent intelligence. So that's a really good start for your team. Moving on, in Conference 28, we have Mesa. Mesa has, it's going to be a rebuilding project, and a lot of these are, but they do have a pretty easy conference. The only good team really in that conference is Spokane, who was undefeated until the conference tournament last year. So that's a great team to pick. And I think other than that, there's a couple good teams. I'm not sure these are teams you got to pick up quick if you want to pick them up. But you got Anchorage Apostles, one of the best coached by the legendary coach Bobby 11, who just left not too long ago. What I'm saying is, if you want to pick up these teams, you must do it in a hurry. There might already be someone that's picked them up. Anchorage has a really good team. They have a 52-40 freshman class coming in. This team has been on the brink of NTT, of the NTT for quite some time. They have a guy on their team, and John Shelton, who has never gotten an assist in 2 years of college and 1 year of high school. He just likes to shoot the ball. They got Joshua Courtney, who can play. He just plays amazing. He's an amazing point guard. They also have Alan Castillo, who can. Just dish the ball out, and he's an excellent shooter. Just plays the game really well. He's also got a couple freshmen, and he got pretty lucky. He got a guy named Harry Hansen, great defender if you want him. He's an excellent defender. Really bring a lot to the team. He also, for this team, got James West and Roberto Perez. We'll start with the worst one, which is James. James West is he's excellent scouted, good shot, good defense. Yeah, that's exactly what you want from a guy. Roberto Perez is probably their best player, though. Especially in their freshman class. Good scouted, excellent shot, good defense, good rebounding. as well as he's a excellent, probably an excellent or a good intelligence. He's 6'7", coming out of Huntington Beach. Great player to look at. Great player to go off of. Just an all-around really, really talented team. But Seattle's got a good team too. They got a really good tie in Derek Fierro. They also got a good tie last year in Harvey Cobbs. Derek Fierro is he's an excellent scouted, excellent shot, excellent hands, probably good intelligence. He's that point guard that can shoot it and dish it out if you need him to, you know. Just a great player to have on your team. This team's also a team, but you gotta get him quick if you want him. Last team that's available is Long Beach, the Fury. Long Beach, if you want to be in California, this is the place for you. They got a good base. Their juniors and seniors are not that great, but their freshmen and sophomores are. They have an 85-78 freshman class. They have a 111-79 sophomore class. So this is a great class to go with. I'm just gonna quick talk about Michael Turgeon. Michael Turgeon is a good scouted +3 in shot, defense, and rebounding. He's 6'7". He's a great pickup for Long Beach, and should be interesting. You know, there's so many teams. There's a couple more teams that were mentioned that could be rolled over, but I just want to let you guys know that these are a few of the teams, and it's very interesting. I really hope some coaches pick up teams. And another one of the perks is this radio show. We like doing this radio show. Yeah, it's just a fun radio show to do. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a team from Conference 1 that's inactive, and that's Newark. So you can also pick them up. And the last one is a Pasadena. So if you want to be part of Pasadena, you can be a part of the Rose Bowl and pick them up. Great team. A little bit of rebuilding. There's a lot of rebuilding. But yeah, you can listen to this radio show. You can, you know, get some of the greatest things that make League 5 so great. I really enjoy it. A lot of my friends really enjoy it. So yeah, I just like to promote it a little bit, you know. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy this. I really enjoy doing these shows, and I hope you enjoy them. So for Jorge Dixon, I'm signing off. Stay classy, San Diego.